Welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time to show you like the initial fights and why I love Prowler so much, why I'm all about him, why he was my champion of 2024, and why I've put the vast majority of my sig stones into Prowler. We have him at sig 180. First, what we're gonna do is I wanna establish something today, is that his damage is not bad. It is so far from bad. I don't know where that came from. I think that's from people testing him at either not awakened at all or at a low sig. And yeah, he requires high sig, but when you see everything he's got, it's well worth it. And just to be abundantly clear, he requires the high sig to see the speed of the fights you're going to see today, okay? And just for those of you who don't know, the signature ability at sig 200 at rank 3, while the opponent is faltered, Prowler's going to gain 3,900 crit rating. At sig 180, which is what I have, I believe it is 2,400. So you get a massive jump. Yes, in order to kind of like balance out what will happen with diminishing returns. You are seeing a massive difference, and it's a massive difference in his damage increase. We'll talk about how to play him here, but just so you know too, the other thing that you, in an ideal world, I would get a Incinerate up on Havoc here, but we can't do that to Havoc, right? In order to get the most out of Prowler's damage, I want you to see we threw a single SP2, and this R3 Havoc is already almost dead. We're gonna have to bait out one more special. Oh no, poor us. And we're gonna be able to go in. And then last but not least, I do want you to see, this was a hazard shift fight. He's immune to Incinerate and Bleed, and also immune to Falter. I'm gonna show you that at the end while we're having a nice little talk about why. You'll see why I love this champion so much, but you get it. 50 seconds, 50,000 score, pretty darn good. I am extremely happy about that against a pretty difficult defender. Now, I want to establish this though. We're gonna establish his damage because I know there's things. Now, I understand. So you're like, dude, this is Power Shield. Come on, Vega, don't try to like pull the wool over us. Trust me on this one. I've built that trust with you. I don't lie to you. I definitely don't hide the ball, right? All right, so here we go. We're going in for this fight. And when you end your combo in a medium, you get up that falter. Because remember, that signature ability is coming in when you've got the falter up, right? Here's another really beautiful thing. His medium attacks just cannot be evaded. If I had wanted to, if I was worried about the evade of Domino, I would throw my SP1. We get up the pursuit passive, which means champions you just can't evade. You can see we're just going in here. And now when you're playing him, you can see we've got 30 of those charges. You see them in the upper left-hand corner. When we throw the special, they're going to turn into the Furies. We've got up our Incinerate. We've got up our Falter, and she's dead. And this is what I want to show you. Now, he keeps getting banned in Battlegrounds right now. So I kept trying. I kept trying to force him and stuff. He keeps getting banned. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to go jump over to the CCP server. Look at that. That fight took 46 seconds. Okay. We're going to jump over to the CCP server here. I'm going to even show you. This is a SIG 200 Domino. And I know a lot of you are like, what's that all about? How is he not getting her crit fail? I like, don't hide the ball. Well, he gets plus 15% ability accuracy. I'm sure that number wasn't chosen randomly. It was to ensure that he will not be crit failing here against Domino. And watch how fast this fight goes. Remember how long the other one took? And I told you, Power Shield was not, because of the way Prowler is, Power Shield was actually not making that fight go faster than it otherwise would go. We're going to continue this up. And the way you get those, I believe they're called the power creep charges, right in the upper left-hand corner, is it has to do with how much power drain you are doing after the opponent throws their special. So when you watch these fights as they're coming through, you'll see how that works. That fight went so fast, I didn't even get the chance to explain it all to you. Look how fast this went. That was a rank 3 health pool, Battlegrounds health pool, SIG 200 Domino. Look how fast this went. Even faster than the Power Shield, okay? So I'm gonna show you a couple more Power Shield fights. Keep that in mind, that they're actually not making him faster than he otherwise would be, okay? In general, right? So now we're gonna go up against Winter Soldier, and then we're gonna stop just establishing that his damage is good. You can see that we're going in and landing these. There's another way of playing him in future videos. I will show you. It's a bit more advanced, but this is another thing I want to just establish in this video is you can play Prowler relatively simply. There is a lot going on. I think his ease of use is actually pretty low to line everything up. But what I want to show you is that without it, you still get great results. Great results. So we already had this happen. You can see right now we've been through one cycle We've been through one SB2 cycle, and we've got this Winter Soldier down to 26% health. Remember, he's got over 500,000 health. That is really good damage. And additionally, once we got those passive Furies, I don't know if you can tell, we've been able to hold on to them. We've kept them, and so this is continuing on. We're landing our passive ruptures there. They're doing damage. We go in for another special, and that fight is absolutely over. Fight is absolutely over. And remember, if we had thrown our special 1, we get the pursuit. So you are getting a benefit from throwing the specials too. Like, I remember when I first read him, I thought there's gonna be way too many things to line up. I wasn't gonna like it. It was gonna be no good. He wasn't for me. But then I started playing him. Players like Adamantium were telling me like how good he is. Campo as well. Lots of smart players. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try him for myself. I pulled him, and I'm so glad I stuck with him. He's not nearly, his flow is great. It can be difficult to line everything up, but what I have just determined and realized is you don't need to line everything up to get great results for questing. Now, we've shown this in other things, and I've talked about this, is why he's also good for mystics, right? A lot of times mystic dispersion PvP modes are gonna have mystic dispersion, and you don't need to worry about it that much because what? We've now power drained the defender after they throw their specials, and you power lock them, which gives you a chance to go in and land your heavy to land your incinerate. So if you have trouble landing your incinerate, because it needs to be a heavy when they have no power. Again, I remember when I first read it, I was like, wow, that's gonna be really tough to do. No, the way he plays, his kit helps you have opportunities to do that. And then in PvP modes, you're going to power lock them. So after they throw their specials and you dive in, losing your precision buff from dexterity, you're A-okay. You're A-okay. So now we're gonna look at a couple of war fights that are actually pretty funny. This one right here, I swear to goodness, I did not mean to take in Prowler. Right about now, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to switch over to the champion I had intended to take in. So I hadn't thought through the node and how to work it through with him. Nothing like that, okay? So this is just like Prowler and what I want you to see. Like I got intercepted. You can see again, like I'm admitting to you, I went in with the wrong champion. I was in 4 BGs at the time. We don't take war that seriously, but this is like tier 3 because everyone's pretty good players. They have advanced rosters and stuff, so we can win a lot of wars that way. But you can see we're just gonna go in, and this is also what I want you to see. This is tier 3 war. I think this White Tiger around 300,000 health. We've thrown one special 2. Okay, we're about 40 seconds into the fight. We've thrown one special 2. We're gonna go in here for our striker, go in, and I was like, I know we're gonna end this. We've got 30 of those Fury buffs. That's gonna be more than enough. And so we threw 2 special 2s. That fight took less than a minute. That fight took less than a minute, and it's a fight that I accidentally went in with the wrong champion and had to just like completely reorient myself and figure out like, oh, how do I do this fight against White Tiger? What's the threat of this node? Which is really good, okay? His damage is really good. It took 51 seconds. Now we're going to, this is ebb and flow knockdown, right back at it, and aggression prowess, which is another thing that I love about him, right? Sometimes there's nodes that require us to place debuffs, but other times there's nodes where they're shrugging those debuffs and getting rid of them. It's bad. You don't want them. He doesn't place debuffs. He doesn't need to place debuffs. And you look, if you see this here, well, the Furies from the node, but the other Furies that we're going to get when we throw our specials are actually passive. So you don't need to worry about your buffs being nullified or staggered or fate sealed or all these various things that defenders and nodes do to us. Additionally, I don't know if it's clear, I love this champion, okay? You can see you can use that falter not only to get that massive crit for when you throw your specials, but you can use it to create openings. Additionally, there's more, the defender becomes more aggressive, so it's really helping you with your intercepts. And like I said, in a future video, I'm gonna show you this playstyle by, well, really awesome contributor on my Discord server, and then also on my channel. They comment a lot, share a lot of knowledge from Pablo, helped us out a lot. But you can see this is working out, just this, again, basic play style. You don't need to do the fancy stuff. It's part of what I love about Shield and other champions is you can get great results if you play them reasonably well. You don't need to do all the extra fancy stuff. Put every single piece together. And as you can see right here from Prowler, we're not having to do that. This fight, I'm gonna be honest, this fight's taking a little while. It definitely is. I'm also not trying to line up all my stuff. I'm not trying to line up all my stuff. We've got the 31 Furies. We also have the Fury from the node. And then that was more than enough to handle a pretty difficult fight against Absorbing Man, who is healing. And we were A-okay. We were okay. That fight was never in trouble. And by saying it took a little bit longer, I think it still took less than 2 minutes. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, 1 minute and 30 seconds. And oh, by the way, for these war fights, I'm not boosted. Okay. Now we're going in, and this is only a rank 2 dust. Again, I don't want to hide the ball on any of these things, but you saw the damage that he is capable of against rank 3 Domino, right? Rank 3 Havoc in the war fights against Winter Soldier. So this isn't about damage. What I did want to show you is this. We're going to get up our Incinerate, right? And I believe Incinerate is one of the ways to remove the sand effects from dust, right? So if you wanted to, you could wait and you could land it after she throws her special. You can go in, you can medium to get up the falter. Remember, they are power locked. Use your heavy. She's got the falter on, so she's going to miss. You get up the Incinerate, and it's going to cause her to lose her dust or sand or whatever it is. And then we're going to go in and throw this. Now, I only had 23 of my Fury buffs. Remember, you can get all the way up to 30. And I said buff, I meant passive. So we could have gotten about a third more, but that was more than enough to just take out that rank 2 dust. So he's good. Additionally, there's more. His medium attacks do not make contact, okay? And then this is actually the AOA Jabari fight, and I'm going to fast forward through this. Again, like I always want you to know what you're getting. I've been testing out his SP3, and it's really interesting to me because the SP3 route, and I'll show it to you better in another video, but basically it does allow for more of a large burst of damage, but I don't think, at least as my testing so far, that it's really allowing for more continuous damage or more efficient damage. In other words, if you just play him and you play him well and you throw SP2s over and over, I think you end up in the same place if you throw like 2 of those than if you do the SP3 into the SP1 to the SP2 route. That route might give you a little bit more, but it's 1 more bar of power too. I think it's more for if you want to do a significant portion of damage in a shorter period of time, like in a window or something like that. To me, that really stands out though to how good his SP2 loop is. You can bring in the SP1 if you want. And what I'm showing you in this fight is, again, the complete lack of buffs, right? Look at all these staggers. We're able to just use these staggers to heal. I actually hated this fight. I didn't realize how hard this fight was because I did it the first time with Prowler. And then I went in to try to do it with other champions, and I was very much struggling. The other thing I'm doing is I'm just landing my light attacks to keep the cleanse off of Jabari. If you don't know this node, you had to keep landing light attacks in order to keep the cleanse off of Jabari. If you didn't, then you're gonna have problems because it's a whole thing, okay? Just trust me on that was it. What I was showing you there was how much damage we had done just by playing him incredibly simply. I'm not getting up my falter, and I'm not getting up my Incinerate. Those are 2 things that significantly increases damage when he throws the SP2s. And then last but not least, remember, he's falter immune. So just the way he is allowed me to play this fight incredibly simply, incredibly safely. All right, look at this. I just kept doing that over and over. We've got her down to 33% health. Just simplified this whole thing. And now we're at 21. And I was like, you know what? I want to show everyone the special 3 route. It's really interesting what happens here. So you can throw your special 3. I needed to wait for the cleanse to go down. And then it allows you to basically go over the max of 30 passive Furies. You'll see this here when we do it. It says like you he like unshackles his gauntlets or something like that. His gauntlets until he ditches the niceties and overcharges his gauntlets. So you can see that like neon green there. So we're building up. We've got the 30 creep charges, right? And we have the 27 Furies. Now, what I should have done, well, this actually worked out well. You see that I got more charges, and now I've got 53, but unfortunately, those are going to fall off. I should have just rushed to, gotten closer to my special 2, and then taken advantage of that. So by the time I get this large burst, we're actually not going to get to see it all because Jabari's too close to being, dead. So so just kind of keep that in mind that the SP3 can do that. I didn't utilize it perfectly here. But this is the sort of damage capabilities he has. These are the immunities he has. So remember we talked about Incinerate immune, Bleed immune. I know a lot of you are gonna ask a lot of questions, and I'm gonna get out further videos on him. And I was asked a question by a channel member, is, you know, I don't remember if I used an awakening gem or if I just awakened Prowler. I think I awakened him. And I really loved playing him. I started to see all the things he can do. Remember, I do really enjoy Battlegrounds, and he is phenomenal in Battlegrounds as far as like just being an incredibly versatile attacker. And based on what I can tell, maybe the best domino counter in the game, and that's a really big deal. He's also not a bad defender because of that power drain when opponents throw specials, and then also that if you try to punish his specials, he puts up a 1 second like passive falter on, so you can't really punish his specials as well. He's not an amazing defender, but I did want to call it that at least has a little bit of the dual threat capabilities there. And then I just enjoy questing with him. I think he's great. I think he's a lot of fun to try to line up, and the results are incredible. I very much feel that he's easily in the top 10 tech champions in the game, and depending on the modes you enjoy and things like that, he may be the best or most valuable tech champion in the game. What I would say though is, if you're gonna invest in him and Sig Stones, commit to get him to like 180, 200. I didn't start noticing a massive difference in the crit on his special too, which does make a big difference, until I got him to Sig 180. And I think I'm going to notice a large difference between 180 and 200. So he's incredibly high maintenance. Like I said, I'm going to be getting out more videos on him. Let me know what you would like to see, what you're interested in, like what questions you still have. That'll be really helpful for me in knowing like what else to show you. And then of course, I'm going to show you all the cool stuff I discover and do with him. He's an absolute blast. Easily one of the best tech champions in the game, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think we got right. Let me know what you think we got wrong. Take care.